in the Russia investigation. McGahn told a congressional committee that he refused to do that and considered Trump's request a point of no return. Transcripts of his closed-door testimony last week released by House Democrats today. A lot to talk about. CNN's senior legal analyst, Mr. Elie Honig, a former federal prosecutor. Elie, good to see you. Thank you, sir. So Don McGahn is confirming this. This was his quote. He said he felt perturbed and trapped by the request for him to fire the special counsel Robert Mueller mid-investigation. This is obstruction 101, no?
Yeah, perturbed and trapped are really understatements. I mean, this is the single most flagrant instance of obstruction of justice laid out in the entire 448 pages of the Mueller report. Donald Trump instructed Don McGahn, his hand-picked White House counsel, to fire Robert Mueller mid-investigation. Now, luckily for Donald Trump, Don McGahn had enough common sense to sort of blow him off and hope that this little temper tantrum blew over, but it didn't. He kept coming back to McGahn saying, get it done, and eventually Trump told McGahn, I need you to lie about this, and I need you to make a false document about this, Don. I don't care how strongly you want to try to defend Donald Trump on, well, he has constitutional powers as a president. No president has a power to instruct somebody to create a false document. That is obstruction of justice.
Okay, and so now McGahn is telling him that Trump told him, right, that you better deny this. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, that's he's telling him to say something that is false. He's instructing his counsel?
Yeah, it's the cover-up. Donald Trump is telling his then White House counsel, I need you to help me cover up. I need you to make up a fake story. And that's why, Don, I'm looking down the street at the Justice Department here because, let's be real, it's taken Congress 2 years to get McGahn's testimony for a lot of people's faults. It's the fault of Donald Trump. It's the fault of Bill Barr. It's the fault of Don McGahn for dragging their feet. It's the fault of Democrats in Congress for letting them get dragged out like this. Now, the only entity that can do anything about this to ensure accountability is the Justice Department. And another thing that happened today is Merrick Garland testified, and he said essentially nobody gets treated any better or any worse than anybody else because of who that person is. Well, does that principle apply to Donald Trump? That's my question to Merrick Garland.
Well, the Republican line on this is that GOP staffers on the Judiciary Committee are saying that McGahn failed to substantiate any Democratic allegations, or Democrat, they say, as they say, allegations of wrongdoing by President Trump. I'm wondering what you think of that. But if you have a former president who is telling his counsel to lie and ordering someone, then is there any justice in this for anyone? What is Merrick Garland doing?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, let's remember who Don McGahn is here. He's not some Democrat. He's the person Donald Trump chose to be his White House counsel, longtime Republican, the person who was responsible for shepherding through Donald Trump's judicial nominations, including his Supreme Court nominees. So he is a Republican. He always has been. His testimony today was consistent with what he told Robert Mueller. I don't know how you spin that into no obstruction or nothing harmful. And Don, you're right. Congress, look, they're done. They've done all they can. I think it took them too long. I think Jerry Nadler was fairly ineffective in the way he handled this. I think he got slow played. Well, it doesn't mean it's over. Merrick Garland has a job to do. I understand it's a difficult thing to investigate and potentially charge the former president, but sometimes as a prosecutor, you have to do difficult things if they're also the right thing.
But are they so, because we've been, this has been such a crazy period, is there, I don't know, is there intention just to sort of to go easy on everyone, to try to bend over backwards to prove that they're not out to get the former administration, and in doing so they're missing an opportunity to really restore justice?
That's the conclusion that I am now coming to, Don. It's been 3 months Merrick Garland's been in office. He said all the right things. He said, I do not represent the president. That's correct. He's the attorney general. He represents the American people. He said no one will get any better treatment or worse treatment because of who they are. I'm not so sure that's the case. What are they going to do about Donald Trump? It seems to me that Merrick Garland's approach has been to sort of go along to get along, try not to make political waves, but sometimes when you're bending over backwards like that, trying so hard not to make any political waves, you're also not doing your job as the nation's top prosecutor.
Amen, Elie Honig. That was great analysis.
Thanks,
that's why we have you here. Thank you, Elie. I appreciate it. A tight race to be New York's Democratic nominee for mayor. That's heating up. One of the leading candidates is being asked to prove he actually lives in this city. I'm going to ask him about